Artificial intelligence is taking over everything. No, I'm just joking with you guys, but we are starting to see AI adoption happening in a big way in finance, which is definitely something that we should be paying attention to, especially considering the fact that when we think about what's happening in crypto, yes, rails are being built for agentic finance, whether that be with Coinbase, as you guys can see on the screen, or with other major players and networks in the space, which yeah, it's definitely going to be a multi-chain revolution because no network in this space can handle the scale of what we are going to witness in the future, especially once we start to see like mass adoption of agentic finance, retail adoption, institutional adoption, all of it. But we do have here from Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong that there are only 8 billion humans on Earth. Soon, there could be 10 times the amount of transacting agents. So we're talking about 80 billion agents. We are building the rails for agentic finance on-chain on Base. And yeah, Base is the home of the agentic economy. 90% of X402 transactions settle on Base. For now. But I did say something on X, and I said that the AI megatrend is so insanely bullish for crypto because AI needs crypto tech to be utilized and massively adopted. And yes, it does. Coming back to what Brian Armstrong is stating over here, like when we think about what's really going on with agentic finance, it really puts a major guardrail around what AI can actually do. Because again, like smart contracts can limit the exposure that AI has in specific, processes, transactions. It also basically just kind of puts a guardrail around AI itself. Like you could limit what AI can do even outside of like agentic finance with smart contracts, which is always why anyone that you look at, like BlackRock even stated this with AI, crypto is the answer to it. Like when you combine the two, it's so powerful. Which is why I'm very excited about what's happening with AI in the space currently. Now, if we go over here to Brian Armstrong's second post, he did say that if you're in crypto, pivot to AI. I used to hear versions of this, and it's the wrong way to think about the world. It's zero sum, scarcity thinking. Crypto is a general purpose technology. It's infrastructure. The same way electricity or the internet is infrastructure, it doesn't compete with the next big thing because it underpins it. It's an and, not an or. AI being a megatrend takes nothing away from crypto. If anything, it makes crypto more important. AI agents will need their own financial infrastructure and will eventually transact far more per day than all humans combined. They can't open a bank account. They can't wait 3 days for a wire. They reside in one country. They need real-time programmable money, and that's crypto. Agents will need to hold funds and pay for things on their own. We pioneered this with the X402 protocol Base and USDC, which now power the vast majority of all agentic payments. Agents will also engage in trading and act as financial advisors. They will raise or borrow money for new projects they are undertaking. They will eliminate tasks for us around tax planning, portfolio rebalancing, and even bill pay. Welcome to the world of agentic finance. This is what Coinbase is building. And it's not just Coinbase. But I do love the enthusiasm from Brian to really kind of plug Coinbase every step of the way. But when we think about what's really going on here, yeah, he is 100% correct. Like, yes, AI agents can't open bank accounts, so they are using crypto wallets instead and made 176 million payments in a year. As projects, exchanges, and blockchains continue to build out tools catered towards agentic finance, could AI agents be crypto's first real mass use case? And I do believe that it can. And I think that it will be as well. But even if we think about what's going on around XRP, because I come back to the whole idea of like Coinbase, is Coinbase just the answer? No. We know that the XRP ledger has a major partnership with Evernorth and T54. Going all the way back to January of this year, we did see that big push with T54. We have here from Chartner TA that boom, XRP, agentic finance infrastructure is coming to the XRP ledger. Evernorth is collaborating with T54 to explore AI-based agentic finance, bringing verification, risk assessment, and compliance to AI-powered treasury management on the XRP ledger. Extending beyond single products, both teams will also collaborate on developing new products for the XRP ledger. Now over here, we do have from the XRP Ledger Foundation, which, like I said, definitely follow what the XRP Ledger Foundation is putting out. They're putting out a lot of great inside information from major names, from T54, also from, Ripple XDev, and so many other major pieces of the XRP puzzle. But we have here over 1.5 million agentic payments have been settled on the XRP Ledger with the X402 facilitator. This is from Chandler AGI at T54, founder of the T54 AI project, about how AI agent use cases for XRP, the throughput question, why the XRP protocol is best positioned for the agentic economy, and what's ahead. And I'm going to make you guys listen to this 44-minute long video. No, I'm just joking. We do have 2 video clips from this, and this first one is very important because it's coming from vet_x0, who is contributing to the XRP Ledger Foundation. The core focus is adoption and volume first. Once we bootstrap AI agent use cases, we can increase the TPS of the XRP Ledger. I've been hearing from a lot of people that AI agents need more TPS and the XRP Ledger can't handle it yet. Activity leads to TPS increases. Increasing TPS preemptively is counterintuitive. Check this out.
Payment channels. And I want to read a question that I also told to you from the community. This is from Saul, and he had very similar thoughts about the throughput that you just mentioned. And he says, in the context of XRP Ledger and agentic payments, is it worthwhile to focus on XRP Ledger's TPS limits or capabilities? I remember Stephen Thomas mentioning ILP in combination with XRP for scaling. So can you mention this? Because I've seen actually a few people who say, hey, I don't know if blockchains are so good for AI agents because there would be like so many and you need like so much throughput. No blockchain can handle it. Is that true? Is it really a limitation right now? What maybe, yeah.
Yeah. I would think I would take a more balanced approach, i.e., I think increasing TPS or make it a more high throughput, being very robust, offering a very robust services is critical. But there is always a upper ceiling. There is a limitation. You cannot say, oh, I want to process infinite amount of the transaction at the same time. So we also need to be smart about that. So what I mean by this in a real life scenario here is at this moment, I think recently we monitored the entire XRP Ledger transaction volume that was just surpassed 1 million agentic transactions on the Ledger. By the way. Right. Appreciate that, which is great. It's awesome. I think there will be a path to come into a higher number. So in the very short term, I think the core challenge or the core goal is we need to boost the volumes by expanding to different use cases, bringing more merchants and the ecosystem partners into this ledger so that we can start to bootstrap from there. Once we get there, say, let's assume that we are processing 100 million transactions. So every single week, there are so many volume go through the system. I think high TPS will enable this single transaction being settled on a real-time ledger, which is offer a very great native utility. Meanwhile, we can also explore whether there is other approach, let's say batch, right? You can batch some transaction together to save the throughput. Or we can do some internal settlement instead of going through everything through Ledger. It could be happening in certain cases as well. So there are a few levers we can pull, especially the volume are significant. So I think bottom line here is I would suggest the community start focusing on building this ecosystem first.
Right.
Meanwhile, keep pushing the boundary of TPS. But when we get there, I think there are also a few levers we can pull. Yeah.
I agree. I'm a very similar corner in the sense of that. Let's first push what we have, and then if we hit limits, we can explore ways to increase it. But right now we have plenty. We have room, right? We have room to grow. Yes. So let's grow first.
It's always like adoption. Technology advancing, adoption, and then gradually improve the technology. It's always like this. Instead of like, oh, I have a great technology, and then I'm looking for adoption to fill in the huge gap, right?
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, listen, when we think about this is going to be huge for just the demand of the actual network, for the value of XRP as well, because, over time, we'll get to those crazy TPS volumes that everyone wants. But the core focus is adoption and volume itself. So Very excited about this. I think that this is an incredible insight. And then also to build on top of this, we do have AI agents fit perfectly into the XRP ledger, leveraging XRP payment channels plus low transaction cost, especially when multiple agents ping the system. Decentralized identity, a native feature, is being explored for AI agents on XRP right now. I just want you guys to realize that it is 2026, and yes, more and more exploration, development, and things like that are happening on the XRP ledger than ever before. This is such a bullish signal, but check this out.
We do use payment channel and also a lot of great features about XRPL's high throughput features, because when we host the XRPL facilitator, we need to make sure that when there are actually, we perform some testing where using Base versus Solana versus XRPL does have the highest throughput when there are multiple agents paying the system, say, hey, I need to move money from point A to point B. And another great utility we are leveraging is extremely low cost of the transaction fee. I don't recall, but there are 4 0 before 1, right? 0.0001 or something like that, right?
Yes.
So it's very minimal cost, which is
drops.
super friendly to AI agents, especially when they try to make a transaction, maybe $1 or $0.50. Then you have to bear in mind that if you're paying 2 cents for Base, that's a significant amount of cost, but Ripple is almost minimal. So I think that's the two things we benefited the most. For DID, we're still exploring to see whether we are able to host any agent identity on top of XRPL. This is something in our roadmap. Yeah.
Okay, very interesting.
And you guys heard it here first. He literally compared the XRP ledger to Base. He even said, like, on Base, yeah, you have a $2 fee. Like the XRP ledger, you have those low transaction fees. They are so much more important than, to just kind of throw around and compare and contrast. Like, no, they're so important because of the fact that it's an obstacle for a lot of these types of use cases. It's an obstacle that kind of limits scale. And that's where the XRP ledger really kind of wins on every single step. But also I come back to the announcement with T54 initially, because a lot of people don't realize that the collaboration here between T54 and the XRP ledger with Evernorth is to build out this autonomous treasury operation as well. This isn't a single point integration either. Both T54 and the XRP ledger teams will develop new products for the XRP ledger. This is where T54 comes in. Evernorth intends to integrate T54's agentic finance infrastructure and trust layer to power their autonomous treasury operations on the XRP ledger, bringing verification, risk assessment, and compliance to AI-powered treasury management. This collaboration extends beyond a single product integration. Both teams will also collaborate on developing new products for the XRP ledger. And yeah, that's what gets me so excited about some of these foundations or projects building out on the XRP ledger, because they truly are taking it to the next key level, which is how can we build off of AI and agentic finance and build other things, like, for example, autonomous treasury operations, or potentially like even more, right? Like imagine automated stock trading or automated transactions within real estate or whatever the case may be. Like, this opens up so many larger use cases and also so much more utility for XRP, which, if you guys have been following XRP for years, then you already know that the XRP ledger and XRP are stacked with utility already. This just takes it to a whole different level. But also coming back to like what we're hearing with Coinbase with X402, don't forget that Ripple just joined up with the X402 Foundation as a premier member, which I know that I already brought it up, multiple times in past videos, but I'm bringing it up again because XRP is a core piece of the puzzle here. Like, we know that XRP and ROUSD play a role here, but also like the Linux Foundation with X402, it's a 40-member organization, but the Linux Foundation is also tied back to like some of the biggest names around finance, even around our economy, with like BlackRock, Amazon, and major players like even banks and things like that. So Ripple's there every step of the way. I do think that the AI bull run is building behind crypto. I've talked about it already. Like I said, like the mega trend for AI is so bullish for crypto, because again, like crypto is a core piece of AI mass adoption. And I think that these two can kind of complement each other in a much larger way than what a lot of people are assuming. But I also think that these two combined unlock so much more potential around, automated finance or automated transactions between, different asset classes. I think think that this is going to be a huge game changer. And I think that the networks that are, the most equipped for this, like for example, even the XRP Ledger, are going to win big. And I think that they are going to kind of lead the next phase of this market, because I do think that the AI megatrend that we're seeing in stocks will ultimately hit crypto as well. I think that we're just kind of lagging behind a bit. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys did, definitely like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Peace out, guys.